My name is Mark Manor. I'm with Homer's Music, and we're going to talk about some of the new releases for tomorrow, for Friday. We're going to start off. This is Phineas. This is Billie Eilish's brother and collaborator. This is supposed to be his debut solo album, or what they're calling his debut solo album. He put out an EP in 2019, and the deluxe version had like 9 songs, which is kind of an album to me, but they're calling this the debut. It's called Optimist. He does a lot of the songwriting with his sister, a lot of the production, things of that nature. We listened to this record earlier this afternoon. It's a little bit kind of middle of the road, adult pop music. Wasn't really my thing, but if you like Ed Sheeran or that type of thing, you might dig this. Or if you're just a Billie Eilish completist. The one thing I did have a problem with is there's a song in here called The 90s where he talks about he wishes he was in the 90s and because they didn't have the internet and then people couldn't look up his mom's address or something like that. And I'm really sorry that people looked up his mom's address because that's messed up, but we did have the internet in the 90s, so just to let you know. Lucinda Williams has been putting out these, she did a bunch of streams, I think probably earlier this year. She had a stroke last year, and so she's been recovering from that. So she hasn't been able to tour. She's a tour, like a workhorse out on tour. She's been touring for decades and putting out albums for decades. So she did these streams of like classic songs. She did the Tom Petty one earlier this year, which I really enjoyed. I thought that was a lot of fun. And then she did one about the Muscle Shoals scene. That one I didn't super get into. Now she's got 2 more out. The first one is called Funny How Time Slips Away, and it's all country songs from the 60s. So she does Together Again, which I believe is a Buck Owens song, Make the World Go Away. She does Gentle on My Mind, Funny How Time Slips Away. So some of those classic 60s country songs. She's a roots and Americana artist in her own right, and so these songs definitely fit her voice, especially her voice as I think she's 67, 68 now. So as her voice ages, I mean, it definitely fits these old school country songs. And then the next one she did is a Bob Dylan cover record. This one I think is really good. I like it. She does a lot of tracks off of like Oh Mercy and Time Out of Mind, so some later Bob Dylan albums, but she also does some classics like Maybe in the Morning, Blind Willie McTell, Idiot Wind, which I really like. But so she didn't really pick a lot of the Blowing in the Winds or any of that stuff. So she picked some kind of oddball things that she obviously likes, and I think that really works on this record. She's got 2 more coming out this year. She's going to do a Rolling Stones album and then a Christmas album. So these are all like live streams that were up. Next up, I haven't had a chance to listen to this, but this is the new album from Julia Shapiro. It's called Zork. Julia was in the band Chairlift and also Childbirth. So she moved from Seattle to LA right before this album came out, and obviously the pandemic hit. She was isolated, so I think that's kind of going to be the basis of this album. She can get a little snarky. She's pretty straightforward, so I'm kind of curious to see what she has in store for us when I can actually hear that tomorrow. Mac Miller, the rapper, he's passed on. This is a posthumous release. This is a mixtape. It came out in 2014 on Mother's Day. It is called Faces. I believe it's called Faces, yeah. I don't know. I don't follow Mac Miller too much, but this is considered to be one of the best mixtapes kind of like of all time or of this era. So people are really excited about this, and his fans are freaking out about it. It's going to come out in various colors. I know we got a yellow version and a tricolor version. I think other places are going to have different colors. So everybody's going to be out trying to get a hold of many versions of that. Speaking of many versions, around Christmas time, they tend to put out either a Beatles anniversary or a John Lennon anniversary right now. This year is going to be the 50th anniversary of Let It Be. Comes out in 3 versions. There's this box set, the regular version, and the picture disc version. So those are the 3 that at least we have. There might be more out there. This box set has got like rehearsals and jams and studio chatter. And so, you know, if you're like a Beatles completist and need all that, that's all here. The mixes on this are done by Giles Martin, which is Sir George Martin, son who did all the original Beatles records. So Giles has been doing like Sgt. Pepper's. He's been doing all the later 50th anniversary releases as they come out. So when I say remix, you know, I don't mean like hip hop beats or anything like that. Just remixing the records. So that's all pretty cool. There's also on this one, there's the Get Back, which was, I think it was originally going to be the Get Back LP. So it's got that version on it with Glyn Johns. So this is the 1969 version. So you have to get the box set to get that. Last but not least, this is one of my favorite bands of all time. This is Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark. This is the 40th anniversary of Architecture Immorality. This is not the album. This is 3 singles off the album, so there's 3 records in here. There's Souvenir, Joan of Arc, and Maid of Orleans. But each record has a bunch of remixes, demo versions, live tracks. So this is definitely for your OMD completist, of which I am. So I'm really excited about it. But this album, you know, came out in 1981, and it was not really well received when it came out, but now it's really considered kind of the genesis of synth pop music. So it's essential listening. So definitely go back and check out that record. I'm going to get to see them live next year, so I'm pretty pumped for that. Hopefully everything happens. If you like what I'm talking about here or want to hear about what's coming up next, make sure to subscribe to this page, and we'll see you next Friday.